Hello viewers, welcome to my lecture series on fluid mechanics. In the last class, we were discussing about one method of dimensional analysis known as Rayleigh's method, which is mainly used only if the number of independent variables in a phenomena is up to maximum 3 or 4. If the number of independent variables increases more than 4, then the Rayleigh's method becomes laborious and cumbersome. So in such cases, we resort to dimensional analysis by the other method called Buckingham's pi theorem method. So the theorem states that if there are n variables, both independent and dependent put together in a physical phenomena, and if these variables contain m fundamental dimensions, normally there will be 3 fundamental dimensions m and t, then the variables are arranged into n minus m dimensionless pi terms. So remember, pi terms are dimensionless quantities. That is, they don't have any units, they are just numerical numbers. Now I write equation 1 first. That is, dependent variable is a function of independent variables. That is, x1 is equal to a function of x2, x3, x4, x5, xn. Then I combine both the dependent and independent variables and write equation 2. That is, some other function f1 of x1, x2, x3, x4 up to xn is equal to 0. Now we need to calculate the number of pi terms. The number of pi terms will be is equal to n minus m according to the theorem statement. Therefore, equation 2 can be written as some other function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi n minus m should be is equal to 0. This is equation 3. Please note that each pi term is dimensionless and each pi term will contain m plus 1 variable. We know what is m. M is the number of fundamental quantities. We also call m as the number of repeating variables. Now we need to form the pi terms. Pi 1 can be formed as pi 1 is equal to x2 to the power of a1 into x3 to the power of b1 into x4 to the power of c1 into x1, and similarly pi 2 will be is equal to x2 to the power of a2 into x3 to the power of b2 into x4 to the power of c2 into xy. Similarly we form all the pi terms. And now the next step in the procedure is to solve each pi term using the principle of dimensional homogeneity as we have done in Rayleigh's method. The values of a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, etc. are calculated and then they are substituted in equation 4 and the pi terms are obtained. Then the final equation for the phenomena is obtained by expressing any one of the pi term as a function of other pi terms as given here. So this is the general procedure, and now we need to know something about the method of selecting repeating variables. We know if m is equal to 3, then the number of repeating variables in the problem will be is equal to 3. Now among these three repeating variables, one should be a geometric property, one should be a flow property, and one should be a fluid property. Examples of geometric properties are length, diameter. Examples of flow properties are velocity, acceleration, angular velocity, angular acceleration, etc. And examples of fluid properties are density, viscosity, surface tension, etc. Now another important rule is no two repeating variables should have the same dimensions, and some combinations of repeating variables are given here. It can be diameter, velocity, density, length, velocity, density, length, velocity, viscosity, diameter, velocity, viscosity, etc. So the choice of the repeating variable depends upon the importance of the variables so that we can form some meaningful dimensionless pi terms. Now the procedure will become clear if we go through a problem. I will read the problem. The pressure difference del P in a pipe depends on the pipe diameter d, length of pipe L, flow velocity V, fluid viscosity mu, density rho, and pipe roughness K. Obtain an expression for P. So first we need to find out the dependent variable and the independent variables. Now in the problem it is clearly stated that pressure difference is the dependent variable. It depends on various independent quantities like diameter, length, velocity, viscosity, density, pipe roughness, etc. So I write equation 1 first. So del P as a function of d, L, V, mu, rho, K. This is equation 1. In the next step, I combine both the dependent and independent variables and write equation 2. That is, some other function f1 of del P, d, L, V, mu, rho, K is equal to 0. Now I need to find out the number of pi terms for this problem. Here I count the number of variables. So it will be n is equal to 7, and number of fundamental quantities I am going to use in the problem is m is equal to 3. Therefore the number of pi terms n minus m is equal to 7 minus 3, which is equal to 4 pi terms. Now ultimately I write function of f1 of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4 is equal to 0. Remember, each pi term will have 3 repeating variables, and now I will have to choose one as a geometric property, one as a flow property, and another one as a fluid property. In this problem there are 2 geometric properties, diameter and length. There is one flow property, velocity, and 2 fluid properties, viscosity and density. Now I choose diameter, velocity and density as repeating variables to get meaningful pi terms. If I choose any other configuration, I will get a dimensionless number, but it will not have any meaningful value. So the choosing of repeating variables comes by experience or by trial and error method. Now I will form the pi terms. So pi 1 will be 3 repeating variables plus the other one. Similarly, I write all the pi terms. So pi 1 is equal to d to the power of a1 into v to the power of b1 into rho to the power of c1 into del p. Similarly, pi 2 is written. First I write the repeating variables diameter, velocity, density plus another variable L. So pi 3 repeating variables diameter, velocity, density plus one more other variable viscosity. Pi 4 has 3 repeating variables diameter, velocity, density into K. It should be pi 4, it should be K, because I have used already L in pi 2. Here there is a mistake, please correct. Pi 4 is equal to d to the power of a4 into v to the power of b4 into rho to the power of c4 into K. Now I need to solve each pi term by the method of dimensional homogeneity. It is very simple. I need to substitute the dimensions of each quantity in the equation for pi and solve for the powers, which we have done already in the Rayleigh's method. Now here the dimensions for pi term is m to the power of 0, L to the power of 0, t to the power of 0. Why? Because it doesn't have any units or dimensions. That is why it is assigned as m power 0, L power 0, t power 0. Then I write the dimensions of all the quantities in the right hand side. Then I equate the powers of m and t on both the sides. Now for example, I will equate the powers of m. In the left hand side, power of m is equal to 0, which is equal to, in the right hand side, the power of m will be equal to c1 plus 1. So similarly, I equate the powers of L and t. There are 3 equations and 3 unknowns. I solve for it and find the values of a1, b1, c1. Substitute in equation 4 and get the pi 1 term as del p divided by rho v square. So this is a pi term, dimensionless quantity. Similarly, I solve the pi 2 term. Same way, I substitute the dimensions of all the quantities. Pi 2 is once again m to the power of 0, L to the power of 0, t power 0, and the rest of the quantities I substitute, and then I get 3 equations for the powers of m, l, t as shown here. Then I solve for the powers a2, b2, c2, substitute in the equation for pi 2 and get the pi 2 as pi 2 is equal to L by D. So this is called L by D ratio, very important ratio in pipe flow problems. So this is pi 2. Similarly, I solve the pi 3 term also. So here the pi 3 terms comes to be mu by dv rho. We know dv rho by mu is called a Reynolds number. So pi 3 is nothing but 1 by NRE, inverse of Reynolds number. See, we are getting some meaningful dimensionless numbers. If we have chosen another configuration of repeating variables, we may not get such a meaningful dimensionless numbers. That is why while choosing the repeating variables, we have to be careful so that we get some meaningful dimensionless numbers. Then I solve for the pi 4 term. Same way, I get pi 4 as k by d. So once I get all the pi terms, I write it as function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, pi 4 is equal to 0. Now I substitute function of all the pi terms is equal to 0, and now del p, I want to find out a relation for del p which is found in the first pi term. So I take out that term del p by rho v and I write it as a some other function of the other three pi terms, that is some other function of L by d comma 1 by NRE and k by d. Therefore, from the above equation I get del p is equal to rho v square into a function of L by d comma 1 by NRE comma k by d. So this is the final form of the equation, and the functional relationship is found out from experiments. So it is enough you come and stop at this level. So that's it for today. I'll meet you in the next class. Thanks for watching.